Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included in the Ultimate Base 2.0. Another update has hit that is forcing our hand to adjust a couple of things. Most noticeably, food cannot be indefinitely stored just by putting it into certain gases. For instance, my food storage right here with the chlorine is still gonna disinfect the food, however, it is not going to last. We now have two options: either we make this a vacuum, which supposedly works, or we make it rather cold. If we have a look at the ration box of A2, we can see, hovering over the omelets for instance, that we are going to lose minus 18% freshness per cycle just because it is unrefrigerated. The barbecue inside the rocket is 2.8 degrees at the moment, and therefore we lose only minus 13% per cycle. Preferably we want to get it to minus 14 or minus 18 degrees. I've had conflicting information in the comment section. But I suspect the food temperatures just got reset in the update process and now we're cooling it down again. Actually, we should be able to confirm this. Yeah, look at this. It is actually going down with the temperature, but this is gonna be a crazy setback. It's gonna be especially devastating for Atu and Marie over here. I don't believe I have those refrigerated either. And yeah, this could become a huge issue. So I think the first thing I want to take care of is make sure that Otto and Marie's food are being refrigerated, and then for the main base I might want to have a more elegant solution. Actually, let me check something. Now the ethanol could come in handy. If we check the properties, the freeze point is minus 114 degrees, which is a much lower freeze point than the polluted water, and therefore this might be better to use in order to cool down the food. But man, let me tell you, we're definitely going to lose some of the food. So I want to do the same thing for Otto. We're just gonna set up a refrigerator and hook it up to the power system. I want to make sure he actually builds this really quickly. Okay, now let's plan out the main base. If we cool this down to minus 20 degrees, it's going to affect the tiles around it. So we either have to insulate them or compensate in some other way. And we also have to exchange this little bit of water that would also freeze over. Oh man, this might be a bigger issue than I anticipated. Maybe what we should do for now is just make this a vacuum, and that should help us gain a little bit of time without the food spoiling. And then we'll have to think about another aqua tuner setup. I wanted to build an aqua tuner setup right here in order to take care of cooling down this part here instead of using the biome. However, I think it's kind of a pity to just get this to waste. Maybe what we could do is just set up a bunch of pipes and lead them all the way around here to the food and back into this biome. That is definitely a possibility we have. This would only be a temporary solution until we got rid of the chill here. However, this still means I have to pump over some ethanol. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna bring the food to a vacuum place here on the top. And then once all the food is in safety, we can think about the solution and take ourselves a little bit more time. To confirm whether or not a vacuum would actually work, I'm gonna set up a couple of ration boxes here. One can only contain 150 kilograms, so I'm gonna need a couple of them to actually store my food. Okay, prioritize this as well, and then let's get this started. We are under heavy time pressure. Minus 18% freshness per cycle is kind of a tall order. So if we can save some of the food, I'm actually gonna be glad. We're gonna store everything edible in here, set this to priority 9 and just copy it over for all the thingamabobs. And they should bring this food to safety. This refrigerator also has already been built. I cannot take over the settings, but we can store everything edible in here and lower this priority here for the ration box. And then theoretically R2 should take care of that immediately. Wonderful. I think it even fits in there. In the refrigerator, however, it is now cooling down. And the change per cycle is only minus 5% since it is actively refrigerated. Oh, the pip actually hatched. This is absolutely perfect. Now we just have to decide which type of seed we want to give them. What if for now we just went with a decorative type, or we could go with the thimble reeds? These would even be useful. Yeah, I think I might actually try the thimble reeds. Where are you? Right there. Okay, we're gonna store a little bit of thimble reed in here temporarily for the pip to plant them in the natural tiles. In the meantime, we still have some food here. Are you bringing it upstairs? Come on, guys. Hurry up with that. Okay, so the vacuum theory is actually confirmed, as you can see here. The change per cycle at this point is -0. In this case, we don't really have to make a complicated solution. All we have to do is deconstruct this, set up a tile here in order to destroy the chlorine, and then we're gonna make this a vacuum. I mean, why make something complicated if it goes easy? And you know, we could actually do something similar here. So if we take apart this ration box and set up a little pocket that is a vacuum, we have the same situation. So I want to bring this down here, take apart the vacuum, and it looks as though we need to give Otto another skill. At this point, we should be able to give Otto the Mechatronics Engineering skill. It does go a little bit above his morale, but I think he can take it. And then let's see, do we want to do something similar here? Yeah, check this out. This is already not fresh anymore, most of it. I think with Marie, just for a couple of cycles, I'm also gonna set up a ration box here in the vacuum, and then we're gonna bring the food upstairs while we build the new system. Okay, Chlorine, I'm really sorry, but you have to go. Ah, darn it. First I have to take apart the drywall. Oh, look at that. 10 pipes worth of ethanol just to print here in the main base. Nice. Lindsay, thank you for your service. We can probably build this out of mafic rock. That's gonna make it easier. I think Lindsay already took the job. And there we go. Now take this apart again. Ah, darn safes. And just like that, we have a vacuum going on here. I'm gonna replace the conveyor rail, and we're also gonna do the chute. Now, Lindsay, where are you going? Storing materials, you have more important things to do here. No, apparently not. Anyhow, we needed the conveyor chute back right there. Maria is building the storage box. Wonderful. We're gonna copy the settings over and make this a higher priority. And now we have to take care of that. You need to grab all the food from here. Okay, bring it to safety. I think this is gonna work. I was just in the nick of time here. And there we go, 90 kilograms of barbecue with a change per cycle of 0%. So vacuum is the best to store that at this point of time. And that means we want to do the same thing here for Otto. I'm gonna make a little pocket here. First we want to drop a little bit of liquid though. So give me a bottle emptier, and you take care of that, please. In the meantime, everything back in place in the main base. We're ready to store the food again. So what I'm gonna do is allow manual use for a limited time. And we also want to make sure these guys don't have a higher priority. So the food should be brought over to the conveyor loader, and then it's going back into here. And if this happens fast enough, we're not gonna get into a vicious cycle. Okay, got my bottle empty here. We're just gonna use a little bit of water just like before. Want to make sure this happens quickly. And we also only want a tiny amount of it. There we go, onto. That's enough. Yeah, get that out of there. Now what we need to do is take apart a couple of tiles here. This one here as well. And this one here probably. Yeah, probably should have done that first. Otto, please come back. You need to take care of that immediately, man. No, where are you going? Ah, catching breath. Okay, that's fine. That's a good reason. Going to depressurize well. Oh, okay. That is also a noble task, I would say. Getting some more oil in the joint. And here we can see him actually depressurizing it, which is generating oil and also an awful lot of natural gas. There we go. Food in Growista is safe for the time being. I will make a similar system in due time, but for now we can get rid of this ration box. We're not gonna need that any longer. And we'll make a similar system here as well. Come on, Otto, you don't prioritize. Jeez, just do this. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. And now we want to sweep this up here as quickly as possible. This is costing us some issues. Well, you look at that. We already have a vacuum here. Okay, so we don't even have to take apart this tile. We can just go ahead, place a tile here, and then we want to make sure this is actually falling in here. So we are going to need that chute back. One conveyor chute for me, thank you very much. That should theoretically be it. Yeah, let's just replace these tiles. Actually, as a matter of fact, let me replace this one here as well. So I want to take this apart still. Get rid of that, that is good. Place a new tile there. Building this tile. Okay, wonderful. Now we have the perfect situation here with the vacuum. So all we have to do, even though this is temporary, is set up a conveyor loader and bring the food over here manually from the fridge. We'll have to wait another cycle. That is bad. Well, at least we don't have to worry about Grovista 2 at this point. And then right here, we should be seeing some action. Yeah, some food is already back. What do we still have in here? Meal lice, nutrient bars, muck roots. Yeah, this is all food I'm actually not storing. So Frankie is about to pick up some food. I think he didn't do it just yet, right? Yeah, he's carrying nothing. This is good, because if I tell this guy to not allow manual use anymore, then Frankie shouldn't be picking it up. Just to be sure, I'm gonna move him somewhere else. Ah, he brought it to the gas range. No problem then. Okay, how about that? Now we have 117,000 kilocalories of omelets and 851,000 kilocalories of barbecue at a deep freeze state in sterile atmosphere. The only downside we experiencing now is that the food is not being sterilized anymore. But I think we can live with that. So let me just fix it for the other two planetoids. Right here we are almost done. Once this is built, I'm gonna move the food over and then grow Ista. I'm probably gonna do something similar. For now, we're just gonna keep the ration box here on the top. This should be fine too. Whew, crisis averted, I would say. Alrighty, we are back, and as you can see, I now have the same setup for Grovista and Marie. We have a vacuum where we are storing the barbecue. And last but not least, we have the same setup here for Otto on the second planetoid. I was just in time to actually deliver this to the vacuum. However, I noticed Otto's morale is just a little bit tight. Right now he has 14 out of 15, and that is not good. I think what I want to do is switch his diet to barbecue. So let's do that right away. I set up a refrigerator here in order to do so, and I think, yeah, let's deliver 100 kilograms. Actually, how much is that? We have 1.2 million kilocalories here, and that is 320 kilograms. Okay, let's just send over about 50 kilograms of food. So I want to limit this to 50 kilograms, and we're gonna send over some barbecue here. Priority 9, and this should then automatically be delivered to the deep freeze spot. There we go, that's already full. We're gonna take it out right away, and then the auto sweeper is gonna take care of the rest. It should then be coming out here. Wonderful, and we have a whole lot of barbecue. That also means we don't need the omelets anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and compost these right away. So now the only thing in quotes we have left is 200,000 kilocalories of fresh barbecue. And that should be taking care of Otto's morale. I also noticed here with my natural reserve, we cannot actually go with the reed fiber because they require 3 spots, so I changed it to mirth leaves for the time being. The pip should be planting the seeds soon. Not sure at which age they actually start planting. As for Marie, she currently experiences high stress, so I think what I want to do is also set up a massage table for her. Her stress shouldn't be going up that dramatically, but I think we are struggling right now. All she's doing at the moment is actually collecting materials. You can see most of the stuff here we've already swept up and brought nearby the landing pad. In this room we were collecting the meal lice and the dust caps, so I decided to actually put them up here in the vacuum. I have the 2 ration boxes here just for that. And this way this food will also be protected and not go bad. One more thing I did between the clips is give Mary the mechatronics engineering skill. We needed that to do the food storage. But we're gonna need it anyways to tame the volcanoes and everything. Considering the new food development, we do not actually need the carbon dioxide any longer. So I can take apart this wall and maybe set this up a little bit differently. In terms of priorities, I want to change them for Otto and Marie so they start digging and building first whenever I give a command and do everything else afterwards. Otherwise, I have to mess around with the priorities a lot of the time. Wonderful. Marie is taking her deserved break, getting rid of the stress. I'm happy to see her dissatisfied. Just like with Otto, we're not dependent on the carbon dioxide anymore, and at some point it's gonna accumulate, so we want to make sure we can get rid of it. I also noticed the graphics of the overlays changed to make them a little bit more visible. It looks okay to me. It's a little bit uglier, however, you can definitely see it better. Anyways, I think I want to go out of here, and then we are gonna set up a couple of bridges here, and afterwards we can connect it together. We probably don't have to do this for Otto since the carbon dioxide can escape towards the bottom, and then we already set up the pump here to get rid of the gases and bring them to the main planetoid. For Marie, we're just gonna get rid of the gases completely. One last thing that I noticed right at the beginning is the pliers mod at the moment isn't working anymore. This is devastating news. As a matter of fact, I will have to change my strategy here. For instance, we will have to take apart the 2 pipes right here first and then rebuild them in order to make them connect correctly, and this is just agonizing. Hope this gets fixed very soon. Okay, looks like we're done with everything and the situation has normalized. Now, I would like to make it a little bit easier for Otto and Marie to bring their materials upstairs. And since they now have the mechatronics engineering skills, I think it's gonna be easy to do so. For instance, Marie could go ahead and build a conveyor rail system here. We're going to set up a conveyor loader, need 200 kilograms of refined materials, no problemo. We want to do 4 crafts right here. I do not want to build anything that's not really necessary. In terms of power, we don't use a lot at any given time, so I think we can just go ahead and straight connect this up. And then of course on the top here, I would like a conveyor chute. Let's actually bring this over here, thinking about it. So it lands on the same spot as with the automatic dispenser. If we have the automatic dispenser at the same priority as we have the conveyor loader here at the bottom, she should always go to the one that is closest. I think for now, one at the bottom and one at the top are going to be enough. We don't need any more. And we're going to do a similar thing for Otto. Otto has tons of cobalt in here, so that's going to be the material of my choosing. And let me think. We probably want to bring it nearby the storage container. Or we just bring it here where we are currently storing the materials. I think I'm gonna do that, but I don't want him to actually get out of the atmosuit the entire time in order to deliver the items. We should be able to deliver them outside the base. So I'm actually not gonna go down here. We're gonna build the conveyor loader in this spot. And obviously we're also gonna need to power this up. But that seems to be pretty straightforward. And we are just gonna go to this spot. That means taking apart this ladder and exchanging it with a conveyor chute. Conveyor chute, you go right there. Okay, should be fairly easy to build these systems, and it's gonna make their work just that much quicker. Since we now have building and digging prioritized, this is also gonna be taken care of the first. We actually successfully pumped out the entirety of the water pool here at the bottom, so I think it's time to do that with another source. We could actually desalinate the salt water here, why the heck not? Maybe one reason would be the power issues, but if we have a look at that, the desalinator is taking 480 watts of power. Yeah, so we definitely have to upgrade our system before we do that. We still have a little bit of water in this place. I think I might take advantage of that. We want to go ahead and dig this out anyways. Then here at the bottom we can have another pump and connect this to our system. Let's see, I'm just gonna put it into here. We can take apart the rest here at the bottom. Don't need the power anymore. However, the power should be going to the other water pump. But yeah, after using up this last bit of water, we definitely need to get into desalinating the salt water. In order to get in here, obviously, we need to make a little bit of free space. But other than that, we should be good. Yeah, this is not gonna result in any accidents. Wonderful. I guess at this point, we can even take this apart and set up a bunch of ladders here so we can reach everything. If you remember, we have set up the system for Otto that he actually delivers almost everything to the first base, however at a very low priority, so only when he's got nothing else to do, he's gonna do that. And there are a couple of materials I excluded, namely the coal. We have gobfry, actually the critter eggs, they can all move over. I'm keeping some of the dirt for some reason, I don't actually remember why. We can bring over most of the food, thinking about it, except of course the barbecue, we want to keep that. We're keeping also the cobalt ore, wolframite can go over. And it looks as though, yeah, we had to update this list. Sedimentary rock I'm keeping as a building material as well. And of course the refined materials we only have when we actually use them, so we don't want to send them over either. Okay guys, so please go ahead and finish this project so we can see this in the works. One last thing we could go ahead and do is set up a little liquid lock here. Just something quite temporary. Open this up and then we want to make sure we can actually grab some of these spore kits, which are not that dangerous because they are submerged. The most dangerous one is going to be this one, and other than that we can just probably go ahead and pick them up. I'm actually not sure what happens with the zombie spore inside of the oil. We might want to keep this under observation. As a matter of fact, I'm already collecting the oil inside of this pool. That should be good, at least to be able to observe this. Alrighty, got my conveyor loader on the second and third planetoid in place. They have the right priorities and items set. I give Marie a couple more things to take apart, but afterwards we should be good. But look at that, we're definitely gonna run out of water at some point, and we will have to make sure this doesn't have consequences. One thing I'm definitely gonna need is another tile in this spot so we don't suck out all of the water of the liquid lock. That would be horrible, even though this little drop here also protects us. But yeah, there we go. Today we successfully sorted out the food crisis that came with the update so that we can progress hopefully in the next episode. Now, one thing I'm a little bit worried about is the stress of Marie is not going down. She always has some stress. Let me check out her skills once again. So that's the reason. She actually requires another morale point. So I think what I'm gonna do is actually give that to Otto and Marie at the same time. We want to make another downtime slot here, which is gonna give her 1 additional morale point, just what we needed. We're only gonna lose a little bit of work time. Another way we could have solved this is with an upgrade of the bathroom or even the bedroom. Yeah, we could actually do that. But I think that is a topic for another episode. Look at that. They have lots to do. Even Otto now has lots to do. Let's go ahead and make our way inside of here in order to actually finish this. Hold the phone. We do not want to take apart this one here. This needs to be a steady staircase. Yes, Otto, let's see this happen. You're gonna make your way through here. Wonderful. And then we want to grab this spore kit right away. Priority 9. There it is. Now it's just a seat and it shouldn't be of any more danger. Alright, cool. I would say at this point we're gonna wrap up the episode. Let's see what we have in the printing part. Nothing too exciting. I'm gonna go with the copper. But with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye bye.